what's good if y'all know me out 5. Yo, guys, I never thought I would see this day. Jimmy High Road. I got a
Question. What does the iPhone, Facebook, the OKC Thunder, Kevin Durant's NBA career, and #1 NBA prospect AJ Debinsa have in common? It's quite the odd group of miscellaneous things, only related in one.
What does the Thunder, AJ Debinsa, Facebook,
in specific way?
Oh, because they all play for a blue
based
team.
on the
They all play for a blue team. They all play
title and thumbnail of this video, you've probably figured it out by now. None of these things existed when LeBron's record-breaking 10-point streak began.
What the fuck?
Things existed when LeBron's record-breaking 10-point streak began. It's a streak that's been going on for nearly 20 years.
Bro,
one of those things
I was like 2 years old when LeBron started that shit.
You legitimately thought you'd never see come to an end. But on Thursday night, it finally did. A streak that began before many NBA fans were even born has finally came to a conclusion.
Oh my God, LeBron lost his streak?
And the final number is
since 2007, bro?
It is a record that will never, ever be broken.
I mean, bro, LeBron got like 1,000 records that will never be broken.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. The NFL and college football are in full swing. The NBA is officially back, and right now you can get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek.
Oh shit! What the fuck? What the
the description promo.
I got stuck, bro. I know you couldn't skip the ad. Like mentally, I couldn't skip the ad.
273 days and 1,297 games. A monumental streak that never seemed like it would ever end came to an end. For the first time since January 5th, 2007, LeBron James scored less than 10 points in a regular season game on Thursday night. And in the most poetic way imaginable, with the game and a near 2-decade-long streak.
That's
on the
crazy.
line,
Like, who the fucking thought Rui was gonna hit that shot, bro? LeBron probably passed that shit out thinking like, yo, Rui probably not gonna hit this. We go to overtime. I get to have my streak going. And Rui just said, nah, nigga. Streak ends today. Streak ends today.
To keep his streak alive,
no more of that.
LeBron James passed out of the last shot to find the open man in the corner for the game winner. The most likely conclusion to a streak that was unlikely to ever end. When asked about
he had that shot too.
Of his streak coming
he
to
could have taken that shit up.
LeBron's response was short and to the point.
What feelings did you have, if any, what bothered you?
None. We won.
Right?
And now that we've seen the conclusion to
like,
this 1,297 game long saga, I would like to take the time to dive into just how remarkable and how unbreakable LeBron's 10-point scoring streak really is. Just how long is 1,297 games? Well, with the recent news of the Clippers cutting Chris Paul from their roster, LeBron's 10-point scoring streak
I want to know what the fuck is
officially
happening with
longer
that.
than the careers of every single player in the NBA. Outside of course, LeBron himself. The most career games played among active players not including LeBron is held by Russell Westbrook, a player so old that he was a part of the OKC Thunder's inaugural season in the NBA with 1,260 career games. How unbreakable is LeBron's record? Well, even if the longest tenured player in the entire league outside of LeBron scored at least 10 points in every single game of his career, it still wouldn't be enough to break LeBron's record.
Nigga,
now,
what?
The player with the second longest 10-point streak in NBA history is none other than Michael Jordan, who began his streak all the way back in 1986.
And then he just
retired, returned to the NBA, continued his streak, retired again, came back again, and finally fell short of 10 points in 2001 at the ripe age of 38 and was still 431 games shy of LeBron's record.
He retired 3 fucking times and still never scored under 10 points since 2001. Yo, Michael Jordan, like he's still not better than LeBron, but yo, he did his shit back then.
Perspective, how much longer
MJ
would have had to play to break LeBron's streak if he continued his streak dating back to 1986 through 2001, scored at least 10 points in every single game of the following season, and the next season, and the season after that, and the season after that, the season after that, and the season after that one, he would finally surpass LeBron's record by 2007.
What? He
In
has to play
fact,
5
JJ
extra
Redick,
seasons?
the head coach of the Lakers, will be the first to tell you how incredible LeBron's record is. Because on the exact day LeBron last scored single-digit points, JJ Redick suited up in just the 8th game of his NBA career, which means Redick began his career in the NBA, played 15 seasons in the league, retired from basketball, ran a successful podcast for 3 years, and became the man's head coach, all while LeBron maintained his streak. But
Bro,
with LeBron's streak now over,
this thing has been in the NBA, bro, longer than cars been on Earth, guys. Hey, how the fuck has LeBron been in the NBA for that long? Hey, bro, when LeBron joined the NBA, when LeBron joined the NBA, bro, when LeBron joined the NBA, bro, there was a lot of old things.
we can begin to look ahead and see if there's anyone who even has a chance to grab this record for themselves. With all the incredible scorers in the league today, Durant, Shea, Luka, Giannis, I'm sure there's someone who has a decent streak going right now. 267. The next closest active streak is Kevin Durant with 267 games. Do y'all remember this shot? The toe on the line, a career-altering moment for Durant? It's been quite some time since we witnessed this, and yet this shot happened 2 months after Durant's current 10-point scoring streak began, back in 2021. And considering he's 37 years old in his 17th NBA season, I think
Durant,
it's safe to say he will not be breaking this record. So let's look ahead to the next player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a perfect candidate for a record like this. Shai's current streak stands at 170 games, which means that if Shai plays every single game moving forward and scores at least 10 points in all of those games, he is on track to break LeBron's record midway through the 2039 NBA season at the age of 41.
Nigga, that's like 20 years from now.
You could combine the games of the 10 longest active streaks in the league today, and you still wouldn't have enough to break LeBron's record. But it is just 10 points after all.
They're all pretty young
players
too,
who can score 10 without breaking a sweat. So how exactly does one player build such an insurmountable lead on every other player to ever suit up? Well, because you not only need to be skilled and consistent enough to score 10 points every single game, you have to be lucky enough to not get hurt. And you also need to be gimmicky enough to even want to keep the streak going in the first place. To keep up with a record like this, essentially, a player cannot sustain an injury in the first half of any game at any point in their career. Giannis had a streak that got up to 171 games just a few nights ago, the third longest active streak in the NBA. But then he unfortunately went down with an injury just 3 minutes into their game against the Pistons, and his streak was snapped. Back in 2021, James Harden's streak was the Pistons NBA. But then he unfortunately went down with an injury just 3 minutes into their game against the Pistons, and his streak was snapped. Back in 2021, James Harden's streak was up to 450 games, until he tweaked his hamstring on this play just 5 minutes into a game against the Knicks. He would end up leaving the game, sitting out the rest of the contest, and his streak came to an end. Back in 2023, Luka Doncic had a streak of 211 games, but spun his way into an ankle sprain, left the game in the first quarter after scoring 0 points, and ended his streak. In 2017, Kevin Durant had the misfortune of being teammates with Zaza Pachulia, who just 10 minutes into a game against the Wizards went barreling into KD's knee while he was in the midst of the 5th longest 10-point streak in the history of the league. Needless to say, when a 7-footer makes your legs go a long way, you don't come back into the game, and your 562-game streak of 10-point games comes to an end.
I would have been mad as fuck.
Beating a record like this is a matter of luck, or rather, not having enough of it. But even if you do get lucky enough to not get injured,
bro, even when LeBron gets injured, he puts up 10 points, guys. That's how fucking insane this guy is.
10 points on the board. Something that, as easy as it may come to some players, is nearly impossible to do hundreds of times in a row. In 2019, Damian Lillard's streak of 230 games came to an end as he failed to score 10 points in a game against the Raptors. He put up 12 shots, got to the line a couple times, but after 3 years of not having an off night, he finally did have one. Same thing happened to Karl Anthony Towns in 2021, who was balling out for 172 straight games. and then just laid an egg in game 173. Played 31 minutes, took 11 shots, but just failed to hit double digits.
That's
Steph
crazy,
Curry
though.
is one of the
On
most
one entire
lethal
game, you don't get to
scorers
crack
in NBA
double
history,
digits,
and yet he
and you're
has
the star
scored
player.
single-digit points 3 times in the past year. So not only do you have to stay healthy, you also can't afford to have a single year.
3 points. 3 points? What the fuck was Curry doing out there? Just looking around? Was he like, was he just like suit up for golf and he got confused? Like, wrong sport?
Only do you have to
3
stay
points?
healthy, you also can't afford to have a single bad score.
How the hell did he only
at
score 3
all
points?
for a very, very long time. And even if you manage to do all of that, you will still not approach this record unless you're willing to pull a few stunts to keep it going. The number of times LeBron scored less than 10 points from January 6, 2007 to December 3rd, 2026, 0. The number of times he scored just enough to keep the streak alive in that same time span, 24. A statistical improbability? Maybe. Going out of his way to keep the streak alive? Yeah, probably. As the years went along and this streak became more absurd, the look of relief on LeBron's face as he crossed the 10-point threshold in close calls became more apparent. Like in 2018 in a game against the Knicks, where LeBron tweaked his ankle but stayed in the game for another minute to score exactly 10 points, and then checked out of the game for good 50 seconds later in the first quarter. Or what about this game in 2021 against the Hawks, when Solomon Hill attempted to go for a loose ball and instead eviscerated LeBron's ankle? LeBron was rolling around on the ground, hollering in agonizing pain, clearly in no shape to return to this game. And yet he did. To hit this three-pointer 7 seconds later, giving him his 10th point of the night, and then checking out of the game for good on the very next possession. And then, of course, there was the Lakers versus Suns game less than a week ago, where LeBron was struggling all night, but stayed in a blowout game just long enough to score exactly 10 points before immediately subbing out and not returning to the game. Just like every
I can't believe he actually didn't give
long streak in sports,
I can't believe he just ended
a few manufactured moments to keep the streak going. A small price to pay
He just
for
ended
a
the
record
streak.
that will never be touched.
You should have just taken that shot out, bro. Fuck that. Fuck making the right play. Wow. I don't think that streak will ever be broken, bro. Try LeBron's a fucking goal. Michael Jordan with everybody. I hope you guys like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.